Today I'm going to demonstrate file management. It's really important that you know where to save your files to when you're creating files for this class for uploading in the assignment section. If you don't pay attention to where you save them to, it's going to be really hard for you to find it sometimes. A lot of people, you can see that my desktop is not too messy. A lot of people have stuff all over the place, but saving files is just like if you were saving a paper document. You usually have a file cabinet, you have folders. You can see I have different folders on my computer to try to organize things. And by doing that, it just keeps you organized on where your files are. So you have a file cabinet, you have folders, and then you have documents within those folders, and you have a whole bunch of different folders maybe within in a file cabinet. So this is this would be my file cabinet on my desktop, so I have all these different folders. So I want to make sure you know how to save something when you use a document. So I'm going to go to the Start button, and I'm going to right click on the Start button, and that's going to bring up Explorer. Now you can do this on your computer too. I don't think you're able to see that in the video, but instead of left clicking on your mouse, you right click and that opens up Explorer. And all this does is it kind of brings up a map of your computer. A long time ago in DOS, you really had to know where things were at on your computer. Now with Windows, it's a little more intuitive. So I'm just going to grab this up here, move this up, and I'm going to show you. So like desktop is a major file cabinet, and on my desktop I have my documents right here, and then you can see my documents is up here on my desktop. So this is just kind of giving a map of what's on my desktop. Something that I don't have on my desktop is my computer. I could click and drag that on there if I wanted to. I could click it, hold it down, and just drag it up here and it would go. But I don't really want my computer on there, so I'm leaving it there. And all it would do is just create a shortcut. So here's my computer, and I told you earlier that I have my jump drive plugged in. So I'm going to click on my computer, and it's going to open up a map of the different drives that are available to me on my computer. So you can see I've got the C disk, there's a D disk, an E disk, an F disk, and there's a Z disk. So there's different disks that are available to me that I can use. And a lot of times, if you remember way back when, they used to always say the C drive. Well, there really is a lot of things under the C drive. That's like the main drive for your computer, or the main file cabinet. And you can see under the C of this map that there's a whole bunch of different files that are available. Way more than I really need to know about. But the important thing is here I can also see my F drive. And this is where my computer is housing my jump drive, my removable disk. So you hear them called jump drives or thumb drives or removable disks. I don't know, they're called different things. But this is where, if you're working on a computer that's not your own, you need to be saving these things onto your F. And it may not be F on your computer that you're saving it to, but you will see that it's a removable disk, and that's what's important. Not so much you need to make sure that it's going to that disk and it's getting saved there. So I can click on that now, and when I click on that, double click on it, it's going to bring up the folders that I have on that disk. And you can see that I've created a folder. It's called District Code 7, and then I also have a folder called IS-151. Now, how do you create a folder? Now, I really am on my jump drive right now. If I go back up or I go back down, I gotta find it. You can scroll up and down, and I'm looking, and I can see it. And you can see that it's down here now, and it's opened it up. So in the big map of the things, it's coming off on my desktop, and then it's kind of on that C. So it's under there, and it's on my desktop, that removable disk F, and these are the folders that are there. So if I wanted to create a new folder, all you do is you go to File, you go to New, and you click on Folder. And when you do that, it's going to open up a new name, and I'm going to just call this demonstration. You probably want to call yours IS-151, and so then you have a class folder where you're going to save everything. So that's how you create a new folder. Once again, you just click and you hit enter after you give it a new name. You just click on File. Darn it. You click on File, and then you click New Folder. And when it opens up, you just type in there and you give it a name. Alright, and so that's how you create a folder on your jump drive. You can do the same thing. You could create a folder. I'm going to close this. So you can just exit and it will close it. If I want to find it again, the easiest way to do that is to go to my Start button, or if you might have a shortcut on your desktop called My Computer. So I just go to my Start button and I click on My Computer, which is right here. And it might be on different places when you click on your Start button, but it will be there. And then I see my removable disk F, and I double click on that. And it opens it up, and there are my folders. I can double click on the folder, and there's the syllabus. Okay, I'm going to close that. Let's go ahead and let's look at let's just go ahead and open a folder. I have things in different spots. So, for example, I have this folder called Yvonne. I can click on Yvonne. And in that folder, and in that file, I have a file called IS-151 for fall. And so there's a different spot that I have this saved. So I have it saved in a couple of spots. I have it saved on my jump drive, which is the F drive on my computer. And I also have it saved off of my desktop. Here's the path. It's under the C, Documents and Settings, Yvonne, Desktop, Yvonne again, IS-151 fall. And then within that, I have documents, and so here's the master syllabus. So I'm going to open that up. Okay, it's just taking a little bit of time to open. So we're going to let that open. And you're going to have, while that's opening, I'll tell you, you're going to have several assignments where you have to use a student data file, and you open up that student data file and you immediately want to save it with a different name into your folder, either on your computer or your flash drive. Once again, you've got to, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I opened up this file that I happen to call Master Syllabus, and I'm going to save that somewhere else. So I'm going to do, if you remember, I opened it from my desktop, and this time I want to save it on my flash drive. So if you want to save it in the same place, you just do File and Save, and it's going to save it really fast. You won't even hardly notice that it's saving it. But if I want to open up a file and I want to save it somewhere else and perhaps give it a different name, then you have to do File and Save As. And we want to save it as a Word document. So we'll go ahead and open up that as a Word document. Now some people still have an older version of Word, and it won't. Those older versions of Word will not open up these .docx files. And so you can click down here. You can click on this button, and it will bring up different ways to save it. So most computers will open a .doc file. So you can see that that says a star.doc, and most computers will open that. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I want to go ahead and save it as a docx, which is how your Vista program or your 2007 Word will save things. So I'm going to give it a docx file, and I want to make sure I save it in the right spot. So remember, the easiest thing to do, you can open it up here, and you can find My Computer in there, or your flash drive. The easiest way to do it is just to come over here and click on My Computer. So I'm going to click on My Computer, and I have to go a little bit slow. There might be some delay in this. I've noticed that the video doesn't quite keep up with my voice. So over there, I can click on My Computer. There's my removable disk F, and I'm going to double click on that. See, if I just click once, it doesn't really open it. So I want to double click on it. When I double click on it, it comes in up here, and that's what you want to watch. Make sure that it comes up here into the spot. And then you can give it any name you want. So I'm just going to give it Saving Files. You can name it anything you want. And then anything that's meaningful to you, you'll know what it is, so you know what it is. Then I'm going to click Save. So remember, before it was called Master Syllabus or something, and so now I gave it a different name, and it's going to save with a docx. Now remember, you can also save it as a doc file if somebody has trouble opening up those docx files. And then you just click on Save, and it will have saved on your jump drive. Okay, and that's a demonstration on how to save files and how to manage your files. If you have any questions, make sure you send me an email or post something on the discussion board under that general information discussion board.